Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you are going to be listening to, it was sent to us by one of our dear brother, and it reads like this. My brother, please do not share my name. I am someone that is well known. I do enjoy going out to clubs. I am a social person. I am always going out with different women. But apart from me enjoying being in clubs at all the times, there is another secret that I wish to share with you, something that I would not even dare share with the women that I spend most of my time with. My name, you will call me Chinedu, not my real name. I am a man that is aged 42 years old, and I am writing this to you because life is becoming more difficult. As I am writing this, you won't even believe it if I tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I have not slept in 4 good days. It is what has been happening. I have to drink pills that will make me to be drowsy and fall fast asleep. But as for late, those pills, it seems as if they are no longer working like the way that they are supposed to work. It all started back, it was in the year 2008. I came to South Africa from my country, Nigeria. I do come from Anambra State. I came with nothing. We came here as a group of volunteers. We were doing some exchange programs. They were South African students that had came to our university, and I had been chosen as well to come. And when I came to South Africa, I had gone to that university and paid some money because I had a relative of mine who knew about this exchange program. So he collected me from the village and he said, you need to sign up. This is a way for you to reach South Africa, and hopefully when you are doing your exchange program, you can walk around and you can try to get a job. When I got into Joburg, that was when we were taken to these other people that helped us to get visas that could last us much longer. But in the meantime, when they were processing our visas from the visitors to the temporary, we were hiding in Hillbrow. And in Hillbrow, we were not living a nice life. We were living like in one of those dark buildings where it is just smelly at all the times. Sometimes I would eat one meal a day, and sometimes I would not even eat anything. I remember when I would be sitting on the street corner and the police van would go by and my heart would be banging across my chest saying, what am I going to do if these people open their police van and ask for the papers, for my papers get expired? Every time that I saw a blue light, my stomach, it will just turn into water. I was terrified of being deported back to the poverty that I had fled back in Nigeria. When I would see other big Nigerians driving big BMWs, I would be like, God, even if I have to sell my mother or to sell myself, I just want to be a rich man in this country. I did not know that the devil was the one that was listening to that kind of a prayer. By 2009, that was when I met a woman whom I will call Lato. This woman, I met her. She was a Sutu girl, but she was from Tembisa. She was working as a cashier. She was someone that was nice at me, and she made me to forget about how poor I was. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me be honest. In the beginning, I did not love Lerato. I did not love her at all. All that I saw in him was a pathway to getting a South African visa. I remember the day that I asked her to marry me. We were sitting on a bench in a park, and then I said to her, honestly, Lerato, my life is hard. I do not want to go back. If you marry me, I will work like a slave to give you everything. And she was like, really? That is when we got into the partnership where she could bring her own papers to the table and I would bring my own strength and we could live like that. She looked at me and she said, yeah, okay, let us see what we can do. We got married at Home Affairs, no party. We just had four witnesses that we had. I had my Nigerian brothers who were willing to become my witnesses, and she had her own friends who were there for the witnessing of the marriage. So after that, that was when I actually fell for him. She was my everything. By 2011, you won't even believe it, but I had managed to get a job as a supervisor in a warehouse, and we were living in a small flat in Midrand. Then she told me that she had fallen pregnant. I was happy for the first time. At least I now had something to work hard for. I was clean. I was not doing any crime. But back home, my relatives, they needed me to assist them. So this started to make me and Lato to fight most of the times because she did not understand why you have to send money back to Nigeria. Since she was pregnant, she was like, I am your family here. So there were things that she could not understand, that back in Nigeria, I had some uncles of mine who had helped me to go to school. One of my relative who had assisted me to even come to South Africa, they also had kids that were in college and they looked up to me. It was in early 2012. That was when my phone rang from Nigeria. It was my sister back home. It was like, Chinedu, Papa is gone. You must come home for the funeral. I honestly was ashamed to go because I was broke. I did not want to go, but Lato then told me that I was supposed to go, for this was my dad. I'll be okay, she said, with the baby. You will come back, right? And I said yes. I landed in Nigeria, and when I returned back to Nigeria, being in South Africa for a long time, everything felt different again. For South Africa makes you a bit soft. From the moment that I was traveling to the village, people were hustling me. Each and every single cent that they could get out of me, they were trying to get from me. My family, they looked at me as if I was someone that was a millionaire because I was coming from South Africa. But honestly speaking, I was broke. I only had a few thousand rands, which I had already converted in my pockets. And when I arrived there, one of my uncle, okay, he kept on watching me in a very strange way. So I could not understand. He was someone that was very rich and he never wanted to associate with his own relatives. That was something about him that one could not understand. So throughout the funeral, he was always watching me and he was always speaking with me. So I was wondering why this old man was looking at me in such a way. It even got me worried at one point. So this man, then he said that he wanted to take me back to his house. When we got to his house, I still remember that it was at night when he said that we were supposed to talk like adults. He sent his wife into the house and then he said to me, Chinedu, and I said, yes, uncle. He said to me, I know that you are struggling in that foreign land. I can see that you are not enjoying. I see that you are like a lion that is eating grass instead of meat. I want you to give you a gift, and this gift, it is going to chase away the bad luck that I can see has been following you, and you can make a lot of money. Can you do that? Will you accept that gift before I give it to you? I want you to come to my room so that I can give you this gift. So I agreed, for I did not know that he was a cult member. He was someone that went to church. I had no idea that uncle was someone that was a ritualist. So I went to his room. This was around midnight. Into his room, him and his wife, they were sleeping, but he was waiting for me. And then that was when he sat onto the floor, and he then took this other wooden box, and inside there was a ring. He then said to me, this is something that I got when I went to Uganda. When he told me that he had gotten this ring when he had gone to visit a herbalist in Uganda after some of his stuff that he used to import into our country from France had been impounded, because he was importing some electronics without paying any tax at all, and he used to smuggle them in. And he said that he went to Uganda so that his stuff can be released. That was when he was given the ring, and he said that this ring is what has made me to become the man that I am right now. And I was like, uncle, so uncle, you are a ritualist. You are a ritualist. And he said, you don't need to speak out loud. You need to listen to what I am telling you. I was someone that was struggling, you know that, and this is what helped me to have this money that I have, and I want to give it to you. My uncle then told me that as long as he had that ring before he had left it as an inheritance for someone that was related to him by blood, he could not die, and he had chosen me. He wanted me to inherit that ring. So I then took that ring, and then he placed it on my chest, and he said to me, return back with it and you are going to be a millionaire. So I took it. And then he said the candle that was inside of that box, I was supposed to go and leave it at the graveyard that very same evening. I did as what my uncle had told me. As I was walking to the cemetery, I was feeling so scared. Even when I left that candle as it was burning in the cemetery, I was still feeling so much fear, as if there was someone that was watching me, that was a demon. I then left a couple of days later, and I returned back to South Africa. When I arrived at our flat, my wife, she was so happy to see me, and her belly was grown big, even though I had not spent a long time in Nigeria, and she was not supposed to touch that ring. It was something that was a bit hard, because whenever we used to make love, she would want us to lock our hands, and I had been told that she was not supposed to touch that ring. So I avoided by all means. As we were making love, I would put my hand that had the ring on one of the finger underneath the pillow, so that I avoid any kind of contact with her. After that, then that was when I started to have dreams, and I was being told what I was supposed to do. Some of the things I am afraid to tell you, for they cannot be shared on public. I can say that 3 days later, I had a dream, and I was told to go to this garage that was close to the place where we were staying at around 2 a.m. So I opened up the door, and Lato woke up. She then asked me where I was going to, and I said, honey, I think that my blood pressure is high. I just need to sit outside for a little while. Since the phone was indoors, she just looked at my phone, checked my SMSs. She thought that maybe I had an appointment with someone. And then I sat outside and I waited for her. I returned back indoors and she was snoring. I returned back outside. I ran to the next service station, just like I had been told in my dreams that I was going to pick up a bag that had money. I saw a bag. It was a backpack that was just there in the middle of the road, about a couple of meters from that garage, and I returned back to the apartment. She was fast asleep. I just pushed that backpack underneath the bed. The next morning, as she was doing her duties, I started counting the cash, and when I counted, I saw that we had 40,000, just like that, which I had been given by the ring. Then I started to have another dream. In this dream, I would see a snake. This snake started to come to me and revealing itself in my dreams until it revealed itself for real to me. One day, Lerato had gone to the doctors. Since I now had money, I had said, I want you to go to a private so that we can hear how much it is going to cost us, because I do not want you to give birth like at a government clinic. So Lerato had gone to a private doctor. I then decided to take an afternoon nap. That was when I saw a snake. It is a green snake, but it is a cobra. It was in the bedroom and it started to vomit. It was vomiting and I saw the money. So this money, when it vomits this money, it smells like sewage. But after the snake would have disappeared, then the money will stop smelling. So I stopped going to work. Lerato started wondering how was it possible that we were able to pay our rentals, we had nice food, and I was buying him nice stuff at all the times. I then started lying as if I am someone who is into gambling. I would go to casinos, spend the entire day at a casino, just wasting money. I would have maybe 3,000 that I would waste on a casino, even if I would not win anything. Then after the snake would have vomited money, then I would show her and I would be like, you see, this is the money that I have won from the casino. We moved from that place where we were staying. Then we started to stay somewhere else. But when I was doing all of these things, I was supposed to sacrifice. It was something that I was never told by my uncle. One night I had a dream and I was told that Lerato, my wife, she was not supposed to give birth. I could not understand what this meant, but eventually the snake made me to understand that Lerato was supposed to die and my wife, she died when she was entering into her last trimester. That was when she passed away. We buried her. And after her burial, it was now me and the snake. To this very day, we stay together, me and the snake, and I do not have a child. Neither do I have a child in Nigeria. I'm someone that is childless. And when she passed away, I wasted a lot of money on her funeral, just like what I had been told by the snake, for it started to tell me that in order for you to get more money, you are supposed to waste a lot of money on her funeral. So I live, what I can say, it is a lonely life, and I always see the ghost of Lerato. That is why I am always with women at all the times. I do not mind going on Facebook, even if a woman scams me, as long as I can eventually find a woman that I can stay with maybe for a week or so. And when I see Lerato coming to me at night, when I have someone with me, I do not get scared. Like when I am alone, I get so scared. I want to confess that I am an alcoholic man right now. I drink every day. I am with a slay queen every day because I am scared of my late wife's ghost. As for now, my health, it is failing me. I am always coughing. And when I go to the doctors, they sometimes suspect that it might be a virus like TB, but when they do X-ray scans, they say that there is no problem. To my brothers who are staying here in South Africa, who are from Nigeria, listen to me. If you are poor, stay poor. If you have 10 rand in your pocket, be happy with that 10 rand. Do not look at other guys that seems to have it all. Some of us, we even sleep in coffins in order to drive the big cars that you see us driving. Lerato, I am coming wherever you are. I am going to come there. I hope that you and the baby, you are not going to punish me for all eternity. I hope that you can forgive me for what I have done to you. I never had any intentions to hurt you. It just happened, even though I did not want to become a ritualist who owns a green cobra snake. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us speak with our brother in the comment section.